Does anyone know what today is?
No.
Thursday.
He's not here.
Bob Marley's birthday today.
Oh, wow.
Arguably one of the greatest reggae artists ever in history. So he was born today. Sometimes I have the conversation with my dad, like, what would it be like if he was alive now? And maybe this is a question for you guys.
Sorry, Rain, how old would you have been today?
Oh, okay.
Like 68.
Maybe,
Maths.
maybe into his late 60s, early 70s, maybe.
Yeah.
But the question is, and this is one that always goes about, who would you have rather paid to see? Bob Marley in his prime, or Michael Jackson in his prime?
Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Yeah. MJ.
Really?
Yeah.
Definitely.
I didn't idolize
I love Bob Marley, but
I idolized Michael Jackson.
yeah.
The amount of socks on lino flooring. Bob Marley never got me doing any of that nonsense.
Yeah.
Do you get it? I got to be honest.
Could you do the moonwalk?
In my head.
The thing is, I want to say Michael Jackson, but I didn't. It's a bit like the whole Tupac Biggie thing. Like, I didn't really care for what they were doing musically. I was more into the reggae dancehall at that time. But I think I'd want to see Bob Marley. Like, I don't know if my dad was fortunate enough to go to Bob Marley's last concert in England. It was at the Rainbow Theatre, 1973, I think it is, or 4. And he said that concert changed his life. And my dad, as a person, kind of hard-headed, a bit rasta, but a bit not. But it's always bun down the system, bum. I say a bit. When I say a bit,
Babylon, yeah.
I don't know if Rain is talking about his dad or himself.
yeah, true. That's where I got it from. That's where I get it from. But yeah, so it's a bit mad. Like, I don't know, Michael Jackson, I get it, what he's done and the records that he broke, but I don't think his music touched me as Bob Marley's did, even to this day.
Brother, did you have a tap in your yard?
Nah. I can't have that. If you logged on to Rain's Walkman in 1991,
Yeah.
you're not telling me there was 9 Michael Jackson tunes.
No, definitely not.
What?
Definitely not.
So you never lost your mind when you saw Thriller on TV?
Didn't care for it.
Do you know the wickedest thing?
You know what it is? I appreciated the artistry behind it, or the theatrics behind it.
Yeah.
But like,
That was the memorizing thing, though.
But in my household, all that was Doppy on TV. That's all it was. Like, what's this Doppy thing on TV?
I wanted to do the Doppy thing.
Doppy thing in my yard, no. But yeah, but again, different people will react differently. But yeah, so Bob Marley's birthday today.
You answer the question.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson's in Studio A, Bob Marley's in Studio B, you're Bob in Studio B.
A studio session, like a studio like this, studio.
No, like he's performing live. He's performing live. Yeah.
I'm going to Bob Marley all day.
Oh, nice.
Like,
enjoy it.
Yeah, you will enjoy it.
Now, the thing is,
the energy is different.
I have to say a little something. When you put it into that kind of category where I can see Bob Marley live or I can see MJ live in a studio, as you said, yeah, I'm going to Bob Marley.
Wow.
Nah, man.
Wow.
MJ.
It's a concert.
Wow.
And there's going to be millions of people and whatnot. I'm going to go to MJ.
Why is it different? Explain, because I don't think...
Because and this is something that came into my life at an older age, my appreciation of what he was doing lyrically and the kind of boundaries that he was trying to break and stuff like that. For me, having a studio session with him would give him the opportunity to talk.
What, like,
So I would really want to hear what he has to say.
Right, okay.
Do you understand what I mean?
he could talk about black and white.
Bro, he can
Talk about the Liberian girl.
He can talk about whatever
Liberian
I
girl.
want to hear. Trust me, because in a different life,
Wow.
Did on that, you also, black and white, by Liberian girl, did Michael Jackson ever give an interview where he spoke about political aspects?
All the time.
All the time.
Where?
That's what his
He did his music
That's what his
about
music
it.
based on.
The music. Did he do an interview that was discussing political things?
I mean, I'm not going to turn around and say, do you know what I mean? 1997, blah, blah, this, blah, blah, that. Maybe not.
I
However,
like to climb trees. Trees? That's what I remember.
All of his musical content.
The music, I get it.
Yeah.
All right.
But
I think the reason why I can't, and maybe because speaking as a non-Caribbean, I don't have that affiliation to say I want to hear Bob Marley. I'm just interested in music.
You know what? That's your
If I'm, don't dash out nobody, mate. I'm talking the truth here. I'm talking the real truth, the body's truth, innit? So the bottom line for me is, Does Bob Marley captivate me like a Michael Jackson? Not even close.
Do you know
Not even close.
Oh, guys.
So,
Not even close.
I'm Caribbean, I'm Jamaican background. And I think for me, growing up as a kid, I have more memories of Michael Jackson, like watching Motown, watching the Jackson 5, watching him doing the moonwalk for the first time. Like, those are like capturing moments. And I think about the musical, I've seen both of them. So there was a Motown musical, they had a bit about the Michael Jackson. I haven't seen the Jackson one, but I saw the Bob Marley musical. And I get what you're saying with Bob. He was about the people. He had a lot to say. And I get where it comes from, where he was like an activist. He had like a movement. He had a message. But if we're talking musical content and just performance-wise, like, for me as a kid, I had more memories, like watching the Thriller video, watching the movies, the black and white video. Like, he was the one, like, if he weren't about, there wouldn't be no Chris Browns, there wouldn't be no Ushers, there wouldn't be no Justin Timberlakes and all of that tried to copy him, basically. So I feel that he's left that mark. Whereas, who tries to be like Bob Marley? Only really his family members, his kids, his grandsons, you know.
But is that because he's such a individual in regards to conceptual thinking, in regards to the beats? Like, again, like they did a little bit of a snippet of how they made the beat to, what was it? Natural Mystic, I think. And that, if that was true, that's even more reason why I would. And I know Michael Jackson was a musical genius in regards to sitting down and all of that and making beats and all that. But the way that the Natural Mystic was formed in regards to the low to the high and then whatever, that's genius. But again, a different stroke. Everyone thinks differently about music, innit? But
I think you made a really good point when you said about the difference that Michael Jackson had at the time when he was around. When he came into the scene, he was on that verge when TV video, music videos, and those kind of things were very, very popular. Now, Bob Marley, he was in the era of live music, going to a concert to see those kind of things. And as a kid, I mean, I don't know about you lot, but my first concert was when I was an adult, a grown, fully paying out of my own pocket adult. So you understand? There was none of this parents, and that's how I look at timelines.
Yeah.
I pay, or then my parents pay. So that kind of defines it for me. Now, when Bob Marley was in his prime and he was doing his thing, and you knew the songs.
Yeah.
On a Sunday, it gets played in the house and everything like that. But there was no visual connection to it for me.
Yeah.
oh, right, okay.
Do you see what I'm saying? It was just music that played.
But then that's the difference. But I get it,
And when
perfect sense.
Jackson was on that,
There was a video.
You're hearing it, but you're seeing it, and then you're trying to imitate some little foolishness.
You got Beat It, you got Bad, you got,
That
catalogue.
spoke to what I believe is our generation. And that's why I say that. But on the what you're saying about Bob Marley not having as much of a influence, I think he really did. Lucky Dube from Africa would have been his hero, equivalent. But I don't think he had the same kind of effect on a international scale as Bob Marley did. And that for me was one of the things that really made him so powerful. When you watch a documentary on him, even when you watch a theatre play, there's a lot of things that come out that are brought to the surface that you didn't realize at the time. And that for me was the bit where I was like, right, there was so much more. I would have loved to have had a conversation, a sit down. You know, when you talk about things like, if you go into the history and you could choose somebody to sit down and have an hour conversation with, I would love to have had an hour conversation with Bob Marley, just to hear his psyche behind these things.
Yeah.